A busy weekend ahead for the UMass Lowell Hockey Riverhawks home and home series with the Hounds of Huntington Avenue, as we call them on occasion. Northeastern University Friday night at the Matthews Arena, and Saturday night back at the Songa Center at UMass Lowell. Joining us now, the head coach of your Riverhawks, Norm Bazin. Norm, welcome.
Nice to be with you, Bob.
And as I like to ask, a quick assessment of the weekend gone by, your analysis. And I say weekend, the Thursday night win over Providence, the Saturday victory at Boston University.
Yeah, they're two drastically different games. However, you certainly enjoy the outcome when you're on the winning end. I thought they were two close hockey games, or they're two games that could have went either way in a lot of facets. But I thought our special teams gave us a lift in both contests. Obviously, when you get a shorthanded goal and a power play goal at BU, it gives you a good chance to win. And against Providence, I thought it was nip and tuck. I thought both goalies were excellent. So it was just a good hockey game to test your mental capacities.
Yeah, that Providence game, that was a fun, I think for fans, that was fun to watch. Two talented young goaltenders square off and see who would blink first.
Yeah, no question. I thought both received challenging shots from the grade A area, and both came off with numerous saves, and thankfully we were able to get traffic and score the winner.
As I look over, and we're not going to focus on the 9-game winning streak, but it's something that I've looked at times and talked about things that have jumped out at me. You and I have talked in the past about the role of the defenseman in helping to create offense. One other thing I note over this period where this team has found a good deal of success, the first-year players, the freshmen, have been contributing a great deal. I think as a group, they've accounted for 26 points, which is 3 points a night and 5-game winning goals. And thus my question is there a particular plan that you go into a year with as to how you want to bring freshmen or first-year players along?
Well, first and foremost, you like to give them an opportunity to succeed, and I think in the early going we gave them different opportunities. We gave everybody a look, and including our upperclassmen, to put them in different roles that may not have been in the past, and give them an opportunity on that end. And then as the season rolls along, you grow accustomed to who's playing best in those roles in order for you to have an opportunity of success, and that's what we've been doing here as of late.
You may have a more critical eye than I do, so let me ask, are you pleased with the progress that group of first-year players has made?
Yeah, several of them have made key contributions, and you alluded to some of those in the last 9-game stretch, but I've been pleased with the way they're coming along for a lot of different reasons. And defensively, systematically, a lot of them have been catching on for some time. It's just now that their contributions are being seen offensively. But defensively, I've been quite pleased with some of them on how they've been catching on to the system.
When we've talked about the things that have gone well for this club of late, and I'd pointed to the defensemen and thought we were playing very good team defense, somebody pointed out to me, and I guess I was aware of it, but maybe not the full significance, that this season, not partway into the season, but this season, this team was given, if you will, a new defensive approach or a new defensive system. I guess my question is, was it a tough system to learn? Have we learned it as well as we need to?
Well, I think we execute on every given weekend, but some teams it works better against than others. Some weekends you execute better than others. Any system you play is simply a system. You have to execute, and you have to pay attention to the finer details in order to help the overall game succeed. And I think our offense comes from our defense, and that's not a cliche. That's for us, it's very applicable. And I alluded to having very 4 even lines, and if they're good in the defensive zone, usually we score more goals, and we have more offense because of it. So when you see us being strong in the defensive zone and getting pucks out effectively, you'll see us score more often.
You mentioned the depth, and we've had 4 very productive lines and 3 sets of very effective defensemen and obviously 2 goaltenders. This team, top to bottom, there is more depth. Is there at times the temptation for a coach to try to stack a line, here are my best offensive players or most productive offensive players, and put them all together?
Well, if you've seen our schedule, we have 5 of the next 6 on the road, and you don't have last change on the road. So I like the way the lines are played out. Sometimes the best 3 players aren't exactly the best cohesive unit as a line. Usually you need to spread out some of the best traits. Somebody's got to go get the puck at some point, and somebody's got to put it in the net. But if you get three guys that want to work together, usually it's a very cohesive unit. And I think we've got a few combinations that I've really enjoyed. But when you're on the road, you don't have last change, so you have to spread things out. And the way we play, frankly, we need to pressure the puck, and it's very, very energy draining to play as hard away from the puck as it is with it. So I think you can really use four lines effectively with that.
Answering a previous question, you mentioned how effective the special teams have been, and the power play has certainly revved it up of late. The penalty killing unit has outscored their opponents, I think, over the last, 9-10 games. But I know, I guess they've killed off 41 of 43, and during that period scored 3 shorthanded goals. That said, is it just execution, or did we specifically change something with either the penalty killing or power play unit to help them get the job done?
Well, we're working on the finer details every single week, and you keep looking for combinations that work for you, and sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. You can't put too much thought into things. Sometimes simple is best, and I think in a lot of different ways they've been keeping things very simple and communicating, and when you have that, you have guys who help each other out in a lot of different situations, and that's why special teams go.
Northeastern this weekend. Are there, obviously, they can be a scary team at times. Are there things that concern you about Northeastern that, hey, we're playing them, we've got to make sure that our T's are crossed and the I's are dotted on these specific areas?
Well, I think as coaches, you're always very concerned about your upcoming opponent. I think they just gave up 9 goals, and I know I wouldn't be very happy if I just did that. So they're going to come out very hard. They've got a very talented group of forwards that can execute offensively as well as anybody in our league. And they've got one of the biggest D-cores in our league. So we're looking for a very strong battle. We're looking for an aggressive contest, and hopefully we can pressure the puck and play well away from it, because we're going to need to.
On radio, I asked you for 3, A, B, and C. In this case, I'll just ask: is there one key this weekend?
Well, I think there's more than one key, but if I have to narrow it down, I think play away from the puck is going to be huge, and that's going to be a big key.
One of your players said that to me today. I thought it was Derek Arnold, who talked about play away from the puck. When you talk about play away from the puck, what sort of things are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about pressuring the puck and making it so the opposition is in a position to turn over so we can transition quickly. And if we play hard and aggressively away from the puck, then we get the puck sooner than later. And when you don't pressure the puck as aggressively, you're stuck in your D zone for great amounts of time, and that's when you get in trouble. So that's what we talk about when we talk about play away from the puck.
All right. Norm, a pleasure talking with you again. We will remind people, the Riverhawks home and home this weekend with Northeastern, Saturday night at the Tsongas Center, Friday night down at the Matthews Arena. So we hope to see everybody at the Tsongas Center. And Norm, thank you very much for your time.
Bob, always a pleasure. Thank you.